Yes, okay. So yeah, let me repeat this whatever I said once more. So if you look at the first table, which one adds up to 100? So for Rado, this total is getting 100, right? What does this mean? That of all the watches that are sold under Rado, let's say there were 200 watches sold. If, for example, I'm taking, then 16% of 200, that is 32 watches, would be priced at this range. 28% would be this price. 18% is this price, like this. 21% would be priced above a lakh. So 21% of 200 means 42 watches, like this. Okay. So this is how the data is. In the second table, of all watches which are of this price range, okay, of all watches. So you see, Rado also has this price range, Omega also has this price range, everyone has this price range. So all watches in this price range, Rado is 24% and Omega is 24% and this is 18%, like this, and that adds up to 100%. Okay, so there are two different ways in which the data has been shown. One is breakup of the watch categories, the other is breakup of the price category, only one price category given. Okay, now my target is to somehow link the two graphs, the two tables. Okay, somehow link the two tables. Now how do I do that? So look at this number. What is this? This 16 refers to 16% of Rado are priced less than or equal to 10,000. And what is this number? 24% of price less than equal to 10,000 are of Rado, isn't it? See, we are talking of the same thing. We are talking of Rado, which is priced less than or equal to 10,000. So the same type of watch, Rado company ka, and price which is less than or equal to 10,000, is this category ka, is representing 16% of Rado. It's also representing 24% of all watches less than or equal to 10,000. Fine. So if I equate this and this, so what do I get? So let's equate. So let me write this. 16% of R is equal to 24% of price less than equal to 10,000. So what's a multiple of 16 and 24? Or okay, forget it. From here I can write this. Rado divided by price less than equal to 10,000 is 24 by 16, which is 3 by 2. Is it okay till here? If anyone has any doubts, please mention that. Okay, I am just continuing then. Now if Rado then therefore corresponds to 3 and this corresponds to 2. Okay, so if Rado total corresponds to 3, that means this is not 100 anymore, we make it 300. Why 300? Because Rado has to be a multiple of 3. It makes a lot of sense to make it 300 straight away. So the values become 48, 28 3s are 84, 18 3s are 54, 51, 63. Done. Okay, just multiply 3 everywhere. Same logic, say this price less than equal to 10,000 is 2. That means instead of keeping this at 100, I'll make it 200. And everything else gets multiplied with 2. So this is actually 48. This is also 48, 36, 32, 36. Done. You see, this 48 and this 48 are the same. That's what we equated, right? We said that they must be equal. 16% of 300 and 24% of 200, both are 48. My job is done. I've been able to link these two tables. Now I have to link the other columns here. Omega, Swatch, Tag Heuer, and Tissot. Okay. So I have to link it with this, with these values. So how will I do that? Same method. Okay. So again, price less than equal to 10,000. Omega is 12% of Omega is in that price range. We know that there are 48 such watches of Omega. So that means this 12 is actually 48. That means we are having a multiplication level of 4, right? Multiplication factor of 4 times. So yeah, 80, 64, 80, 128. This will be 400. Next, Swatch. Swatch is 36 here. It's already 36 here, so no change. Everything will be the same. Match kar raha hai already. So this will remain 100. Then tag here is 32. This is 16. Double karna hai, right? So this will be 32, 72, 24, 36, 36, and 200. And lastly 36 hai double. So 36, 48, 40, 36, 40, 200. So I have been able to link all the tables, all the values consistently across. Okay, my job is done. So now you take a snap of this, okay, and like the tables, because I have to like shift, then the table, this will get removed. Okay, so you take a snap of this, and then we will solve the answers. You tell me the answers then. But before I do that, tell me if you have any doubts.
Sir, I didn't understand like why this double and this four part. Can you just explain it again?
Did you understand 48? This 3 by 2.
Yeah, this I understood. Yeah.
Okay. So if this is 3 by 2 is okay, then I say that instead of 100, take 300 and 200. Okay.
Acha, okay.
Now
Okay,
this
okay.
300 and 200 are done. Now I'm saying that if this 100 becomes 300, then everything will become 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Because this is percentage, na, 16%, 28%. What is 28% of 300? 84, na? So that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yes.
So in the same way
Okay,
here
sir. Okay,
also,
got it.
everything has doubled. So these will be 48, 48, 36, 32, 36. Done. Now I have been able to link
Yeah.
Rado with this, but I haven't yet linked Omega, right? Omega ko link karna hai, right? So how do I link Omega? So
Yeah.
the common feature is this line, okay? Because price less than equal to 10,000 is what is mentioned here. So you'll just focus on this line ke values, okay? In the first row, all the values in the first row only. So here in Omega, the value is 12, but we just now saw that Omega has become 48, right? So what we have here, 48 must be the same as 48, just like this 48 is the same as this 48. Same method say Omega ke liye bhi this 48 must be the same as this 48. In order for that to happen, if I have to make this 48, I have to make it 4 times. So everything will become 4 times.
Yes.
Next,
Okay,
swatch.
got it, sir.
Got it now? Yeah. Swatch is already the same, so there is no
Yeah,
need
got
to
it.
change. So everyone has got it. Any doubts?
Got it.
Anyone has any doubts? Anyone
No,
else?
sir.
Okay, very good. So you have taken a picture of this, I hope.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
now
Yes, sir.
I'm removing this. Okay, I'm removing this, and now let's solve the answers. So what's the question? Now you tell me the answers quickly, one by one. अब तो बहुत easy है ना? बोलो 10 का आंसर, everyone. Quickly. What happened? How are you taking so long? What's it asking? Rado, Swatch, and Tissot, right? So Rado was the first one, I guess. Swatch was the one we did not change, was 100. And Tissot was the last one. 300, 100, and 200, no? So first option. No?
Yes, sir.
Bolo answers. Otherwise, how will I understand
Yes,
whether
sir.
you're getting it or not? Okay, 11. Which option?
B.
I can't hear you. B. B you were saying.
Q.
Omega. Everyone Omega.
Yes, Omega.
Okay, go on. Next. So here it is an additional info given, value of sales. Value of sales means the number of watches sold multiplied with the price, average price, okay? That ratio is given. So you have to tell me the average price ratio. What is the ratio of omega and tag heuer in that price range? Over 1 lakh. What was the value? Tell me the values. What were the values in the table?
For above 1 lakh, sir.
Yeah, above 1 lakh. वही पूछा ना?
128 is to 36.
128 and 36. Okay. So that ratio is how much?
36, yeah.
Oh, that ratio is how much? Cancel the 4. 32 is to 9. Correct.
Yes.
Ratio is 32 is to 9. This is the number of watches. Number of omega watches, number of tag heuer watches. Multiplied with the price of omega and the price of tag heuer, right? You will multiply that. So 32 times price of omega divided by 9 times price of tag heuer. That ratio is 32 by 5. 32 gaya. So price of omega to price of tag heuer is 9 by 5. That's your answer. Okay.
Yes.
वो तो clearly दिख ही रहा था. I mean 32 is to 9 once you have got and you saw that this is given 32 is to 5. ये 9 जाएगा कहाँ? 9 कहीं ना कहीं तो आंसर में रहना ही चाहिए ना. The only option which has a 9 in the answer choice is C. Just go ahead and mark it. होगा ही भाई. और कहाँ से आएगा? All right, next one, 13th. For price P, the ratio of number of watches sold in this range, and in this range, that ratio. So वो add करना है. You have to add, okay? Horizontally you have to add. Will this come anymore? I think it can. I'll be able to show that table again. Yeah, okay. So it says prices less than equal to. So add up the values according in this line. There is one more here, okay? I have removed that, okay? So that line, then the next line below it, add those values, and the next line below it, add those values separately, and then take the ratio. That's the answer they're asking for. Understood? Total number of watches in this price category, in this price category, in this price category. What is the ratio? You'll be able to do it?
Yes, sir.
हो जाएगा ना?
Yes, sir.
Simple तो है. All right. Number 14. Which of the following is equal to the number of, when considered independently, is equal to the number of omega watches sold? Total watches is mentioned anywhere? No, total watches has not been given anywhere. Oh, sorry. Okay. No. I read the question wrong. Okay. Which of these is equal to this? So according to the table, find out what is the number of omega watches in this price range, and then check each of these 4 statements and see which one is equal to that number. You'll be able to do it?
No, sir.
I
I
hope
didn't get it.
you in the table tell me omega watches in this price range are how many? Above 1 lakh. Last line. मतलब last row में जो price range था for omega, how much is it?
128, sir.
128. So which of these 4 options is also equal to 128? वही पूछ रहा है. How many Tissot watches are there whose price is not more than 40,000? That means less than 10,000, 10,000 to 20,000, 20,000 to 40,000. तीनों को मिला के टी शॉर्ट का कितना है? How many are there? Less than 10,000, 10 to 20,000 and 20 to 40,000. इन तीनों कैटेगरीज ऐड करके how many are you getting for टी शॉर्ट? कितना आ रहा है? Did you understand what I'm telling you to do?
So 124 total.
124, everyone? How much did you get? Tea short not more than 40,000. I'm talking of this. This value plus this value plus this value. How many times was it? 2 times or 3 times? 2 times, no? I think 2 times we had to do.
Yes, sir. 2 times.
36, 48 and 40. What is it adding up to? 88 plus 36 is how much?
124.
124.
124.
Yeah. So is it equal to 128? No,
No,
obviously.
sir.
No.
So 1 is not correct.
Okay. Sir, got it.
Okay, got it.
If
got
it is not 1, what are the answer choices? All except 1 होना ही पड़ेगा.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's it. Move on. No need to check anything else. All right. Last one. The difference between Rado and Swatch more than a lakh is 100. So Rado and Swatch price more than a lakh. So more than a lakh. Rado and Swatch. Swatch would remain 13. I think this became double. I think. Oh no, sorry. 3 times. 63. So 63 and 13 का difference क्या है? 50. Correct.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And that is in the question given as the difference is actually 100. Means what? All the values that we have got would become 2 times. The gap which we got as 50 is actually 100. Here I started off assuming this is 300, right? I made an assumption number and then calculate the whole thing because actual numbers were not important to me. In the last question, it is important. So now what is the question they are asking? So if 1 corresponds to 2 means every value should become double. So they are saying, what is the total number of watches sold? So ठीक है, you add up everything. So this was what? This was 300. This was I think 400. This was the same. This was double. And this was also double, is it? Just check.
Yes, sir.
चलो ऐड करो कितना आ रहा है? 7, 8,
Sir,
9, 10,
1200.
1200. So we have to double it. So 2400. 2400 watches were sold. Clear है?
Yes, sir.
Third option. So any doubts with this set? I hope this is clear now.
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
No, I said I hope this is clear now.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's move
Clear.
on to the next one.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, so LR. Circular arrangements based LR question. Before you start doing circular arrangements you will be doing again tomorrow in the normal class. Okay. I'll just quickly tell you a couple of things which you have to keep in mind when you do circular arrangements. So people sitting in a circle, okay, let's say there are 8 people or 6 people sitting in a circle. So whenever you have to, so you will always draw a diagram, obviously, of people sitting in a circle. Now, if there are 6 people, don't just draw 6 people like this. Don't draw it like this, okay? You draw it in a proper manner. How? You will draw 3 diameters. 1, 2, 3. Because that way it becomes very easy to denote who sits opposite whom. Understood? If you just draw those dashes like this, and who sits opposite whom, by mistake, if you say, okay, this guy's opposite is this guy, then you are gone. Entire question is gone. Okay. So better is first you will draw always like this. Okay. 8 people sitting in a line, in a circle. So you will draw like 1, 2, so 4 हो गया, 6, oops, and 8. 8 people sitting in a circle हो गया. You know exactly who sits opposite where. Okay. For an odd number of people, let's say 5 people sitting in a circle, okay, then you will not have anyone sitting opposite to anyone at all. Okay, because 5 people sitting in a circle would be positioned like this, forming a pentagon, and no one will be sitting opposite anyone. Opposite in the case of a circle means diametrically opposite, along a diameter. No one will sit along a diameter, because if you see, a hexagon will form, a pentagon will form like this, position wise, and diametrically opposite is somewhere here. No one is sitting there. Okay, so for an odd number of people, you will have to do it like this. There is no other alternative, because anyways there is no one sitting opposite. For an even number, you will always draw like this, making the diameters. That's the first point. Second point is left and right in the case of a circular arrangement. Entirely depends which way the people are facing. When nothing is mentioned, okay, in CAT and other exams, they might not mention it every time that people are facing which way. So if nothing is mentioned, people are always facing towards the circle center. So their eyes are here. They're looking this way. Okay. So it, otherwise, if it's something else, they will mention that they are facing away from the center. Facing away from the center means this guy is looking this way. Got it? So picture yourself sitting in the circle and looking this way. So this is your right side, this is your left side. Picture yourself sitting somewhere here, looking towards the circle. This is your right side and this is your left side. Please note that. Your eyes are towards the center. Okay.
Sir, got it.
Got it? If
Yes,
you are
sir.
facing. Okay. So how do you identify or quickly do this? Because every time you have to place yourself and then decide, oh, acha, is it going this way or that way? So the simple logic is, remember, left means anti-clockwise, right means clockwise. Ulta bol diya. Right means anti-clockwise or counter-clockwise, and left means you go clockwise. This is provided you are looking towards the center. If you are looking away from the center, iska ulta hoga. So right is going anti-clockwise, left means you are going clockwise. Okay. Make a note of this. Remember this, in fact. Okay. Next is, if you have a guy sitting here, let's say A, and a guy sitting here, let's say B, theoretically speaking, you can say that B is to the right of A, ऐसे घूम के. But ऐसा नहीं है, okay? So it is always the smaller distance. So when I say that B sits to the B sits to the left of A, then B can sit in either this position or this position. That's it. There is no other alternative. B cannot sit here or here or here, because B has to be to the left of A. So position of A, you have to go clockwise and reach B. So shorter distance tak jana hai, okay? So this cannot be B. You cannot say that I have gone clockwise and reached B. No, doesn't work. Anti-clockwise हो गया ये, shorter distance. So to the left of A, in this case, when there are 6 positions for 6 people, B can only sit either here or here. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Next is, if I say A sits between 2 people, A sits between P and Q. So A sits between P and Q, just like this is a possibility. A sits between P and Q is also a possibility like this. You don't know which one is what. Okay. First one, red wale mein PAQ is anti-clockwise direction, right wale mein PAQ is a clockwise direction, completely different. So if you have such a confusion, draw 2 separate circles, represent everything else, and draw the positions of P and Q reversed. Make 2 diagrams. Don't try to do it in one diagram. You will get confused. And you will not have color pens anyways in the test. Okay. So draw multiple diagrams, as many as you have options. Unless obviously you can eliminate certain options straight away, that's a separate issue. That depends on the question. But in general, I'm saying you must draw all possible positions and then keep eliminating. Now, sometimes be intelligent. Okay. Say, for example, you have drawn a circle and you see that, okay, there are 4 possible diagrams. Okay. So, does it make sense to draw all 4 together? Okay, and then solve each one of them one after the other. Aisa mat karna. What you do is you draw the first one, solve it. Okay, on that basis of the diagram, try to solve, and you see that you're getting stuck somewhere. There is a contradiction happening, so that option is not correct. Are you getting the point? What I'm trying to explain? So you have drawn, let's say, the red position of PAQ, and then there is some other information given which contradicts with this. For example, it says, let's say P and Q should be diametrically opposite or something like that. Okay, you see that, okay, that is not possible in this diagram, so that means this diagram is wrong. You move to the next diagram. When you move to the next diagram and you draw the next variation, you see that you got the solution perfectly, you got everything correct, and in the answer choices you see that for every question there is only a unique answer. Means if they ask you like who is sitting opposite X, there is a single answer saying Y is sitting opposite X. Or if you are saying that who is sitting opposite Y, there is only single answer choice like that. Okay, then you understand what, that solution that you have got is the only possible solution. No need to check the other options. समझ में आ रहा है? You don't need to actually try out the other possible diagrams because answer choices are always saying unique answers. So whatever you have got it in the second stage itself, and you have got the actual solution. So stop there, mark the answers and move on. If you see the answer choices saying either this or that, like that, who is sitting opposite P, either X or Y, that's the answer. But in your diagram you have only got the case where X is there, so that means there might be a case possible where Y can also come in. So now you have to try out the other diagrams also. Was I able to explain when you should try out multiple possibilities? Do not
Yes,
just
sir.
blindly try out everything. Okay, look at the answer choices and keep checking accordingly. Chalo, so that's more or less the introduction to this. So now you try solving this one. So this is a number based LR. So you have to do sitting arrangement. You have to also play with a bit of numbers. Since you have done number properties, so I think you should be able to do this. Try. Chalo, so let's discuss then. So there are 6 people. So let's draw. As I explained. Now,
We sir got two diagrams.
okay, right now I don't know, isn't it? When I'm starting solving the set, how do I know how many diagrams will I get? So let's start. Okay. Now there are 6 people, and it starts with A 27 coins, not adjacent to C. Okay. Now next is something about E. Then it says again A and D are opposite. So I see there are two pieces of information with A, right? So I start with A somewhere. Okay. So let's start with the A here as 27. I usually start at that point. You can start anywhere, doesn't matter. Okay. You start from anywhere. Okay. This is my favorite spot. I start from that point. Now he is not adjacent to C means this is not C, this is not C. Okay. Adjacent means immediately beside. Now the minimum number of coins with anyone is 14, and that person is not E. So E is not having 14 coins, and E does not have the least number as well. Okay. So we know that, but we can't really do anything with that. So let's leave it. A and D are opposite. Very good. So D is here. B and C are adjacent. Now we know that C is not here or here, but B and C have to be adjacent. So the only way that can happen is you have to draw two diagrams now straight away, B and C coming like this or on the other side. So everything else remaining same. I'll just switch B and C. Okay, B and C are adjacent. Then what else? The total number of coins is a multiple of 7. Total number of coins is a multiple of 7. That's a very important point here related to number properties. 7m. Okay. At the end, all of them wanted the coins to be distributed equally. So that means you are dividing a multiple of 7 in 6 parts. Please note that you are making a multiple of 7 in 6 equal parts. So each part must be a multiple of 7. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Any multiple of 7 is never, 7 is not divisible by 6, right? So the only way, if that has to be divided in 6 equal parts, that means each person must have a multiple of 7 also. So after reducing values, okay, A can have say 21, A might have 14, A might have 7 also. I don't know what it is. Okay, so we'll see. Something like that is going to happen at the end, and at the end everyone will be equal. Okay. Next, D gave 9 coins, which is more than that given by any other person. Okay. So now where is D? Here. Now who is giving to whom? Yeah. So everyone gives something to the person to his right. So on the right hand side he is giving, on from the left hand side he is getting. So that means A is giving to someone here and A is getting from B. B is getting from C and B is giving to A. D is giving to C and someone is giving to D here. So this is the cycle going, right? This arrow means you are giving coins. Okay. Now D gave 9. So he gave 9 to A, 9 to C, and that's the maximum number. So no one else can give more than or equal to 9 also, because it is clearly not saying that is the maximum, because if 9 was the maximum, then someone else could have also given 9. It is saying that 9, the numbers given by D is more than any other person. That means any other person would be less than 9 strictly, not even equal to. All right. The number of coins that B gave is half of what he got. So B gave is half of what he got. So he got 2x, he gave x. Okay. F gave 3 coins. So I don't know where is F. Okay. So E and F can be F here and E here, or it could be F here and E here also. And the same thing can happen on this side as well. So I don't know. So F gave 3 gold coins. So now what do we do? From this position, what else we can do? So first step is try to get an idea of what could be the final number of coins with each. Okay. What could be the final number of coins with each? If you look at the answer choices in the first question, that is the question itself. The number of gold coins at the end with each person must be 21. That's the only multiple of 7. Isn't it? See, the first question in your sheet. The number of coins at the end of the meeting when everyone has equally distributed and there are choices 16, 18, 21, 24. What should be your answer? It has to be 21, isn't it?
21. Yeah, sir.
Because I just now explained, right? After distributing, everyone must have an equal number and that number must be a multiple of 7. Because you are dividing a total which is a multiple of 7 among 6 people. So 21 though I have got, okay. But let us say I don't have those options, and let's say there is one more option which is 14, let's say, okay. Here the options have been given in such a way it helps you to answer. Some things, these clues can also help, okay. So you should be open to, I mean, you should always look at answer choices, because where they are used to give you hints, you never know. Like that is a hint basically, giving you an option of quickly getting to the answer without having to do the entire stuff. But let us say that it was not there and there was a 14 also. So what is the possibility? If finally you have to get to 14, see, understand, if someone has to get to 14, then A has to go to 14 also. So how many has to give away? He has to give away 13 at least, if he is not getting anything from here. Now, if he is getting even 1, then he has to give at least 14, right? But just now we said that this is the maximum you have given. 9 is the maximum number. You cannot give more than 9.
Yes, sir.
So that means what? A's value can never reduce to 14. Yeah, A's value can never reduce to 14, right? Because then he'll have to give at least 13 coins away, which is violating the basic condition. So the only possible number that you can have is 21. So let me write that down. Everyone has 21 eventually. So A has to give away how many then? 6 plus X. Is that okay? What's the logic of 6 plus X? If this was not there, if you had just given 6, it would be 21. But he is also getting X from that guy. So you have to give away that X also, right? To get to 21. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have got till here. Okay. Now, what is C's initial value? Let's find out everyone's values. Okay. Finally, C is at 21. Finally. Okay. Everyone is at 21. C is also at 21. And how did he come to 21? C gave away. So whatever C was, he gave away 2x and got 9. And hence C is at 21. So what is C's value? 12 plus 2x. Followed? So I have got C's value as 12 plus 2x. Like basically what I'm trying to do is in terms of that x, trying to simplify and get all the values. Okay, C is done. Let's go to B. So B is also at 21. B got 2x and gave away x. Means what? B eventually got an x extra. After getting an x extra, he has got to 21. That means before getting that x, he must have been at 21 minus x. 21 minus x, he got 2x, became 21 plus x. Then he gave away x and he became 21. Okay, now let's assume that this is f. Okay, it can be the other way around also. I don't know. If this was, let's say, okay, let's start this one as E, F. Okay, this one as F. Then what will be the case? F gave 3 and then D is 21. So what is D's initial value? That means you are saying D gave away 9, took 3 and is at 21. That means D's value is 27. Isn't it? 27 minus 9 plus 3 is 21. but starting में it's given that all of them had a different number. That means A is already 27, so D cannot be 27. That means this cannot be F. That means I can therefore conclude that this guy here must be F. Oh, I knew this will happen. Okay. So this must be F and this is 3. Have you understood? So this must be E. Is till here, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Chalo, next. Let's figure out what is D then. And what is E? E came to 21. How? E got 3 and let's say gave away something else. Let's say Z, okay? Because it's not given how much he gave or anything. So I take another variable Z. So E got 3, gave away Z and became 21. So E's value must have been 18 plus Z, okay? And finally D. So D got Z, gave away 9, is at 21. That means D's value is 30 minus Z, okay? So I have got everything in terms of two variables, X and Z. I could have taken Y, but anyways. So any doubts still here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
So,
So now the question is, how do I figure out what those values are? Can you tell me? How do I figure out what those values are?
Equating 21, if there are 21 coins with everyone, then we
No,
can
no, these
make
are
it.
initial numbers, na? 18 plus Z, 30 minus Z, these are all initial numbers. I have distributed them in given those values in such a way that if you actually repeat these operations, everyone will finally become 21. So what will you equate? 21 is the final number. These are the initial numbers. Getting it?
Total number of coins we can equate because that
वो
will
तो
be
cancel हो जाएगा
constant.
ना?
Right?
See, minus Z and Z will cancel out. The plus X and the minus X will cancel out. वो तो cancel out हो ही जाएगा. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
That is how we have. By the way, I have not written down F का value. So F का also लिख लेते हैं. So F got 6 plus X, gave away 3 and became 21. So what is F's value? ये हो गया 3, 18 minus X. F is 18 minus X. Yeah. So वो तो cancel out हो ही जाएगा because I have been doing only that, right? X coming, X going. See na total times how the values that you will add to get to the number will be this plus this plus this plus this
That we
plus
can-
this plus this. See, the Z's will cancel, the X's will cancel, and the answer will come to 126. वो तो obvious बात है because 21 into 6 तो 126 ही देगा ना. So
Right.
that is already taken care of. You cannot do all that. What is one thing which we have not yet done anything about? See, I am saying that A is giving 6 plus X. I have already said that maximum you can give is 9. That means 6 plus X must be less than 9.
Yes, sir.
Matlab X is less than 3. Matlab X can be either 1 or 2. Correct?
Yes, sir.
It cannot be anything else. Not even equal to 3, right? Because less than 9 होगा. 9 से कम ही है, सबका बोल दिया था. So if I use that logic and now try to figure out, X as 1 डालते हैं चलो. X as 1 means C is how much? 14. C gave away 2. B has come to 20. B gave away 1. A gave 7. F is 17. Z ka I don't know. So what will be Z? I don't know. There's nothing to solve, right? Z ka to value nahi niklega na. I have got till here. Okay. Does it violate any condition? Whatever is mentioned? None of them should be equal. So none of them are equal. ठीक है? None of them are equal. 9 is the maximum we have given. वो भी match कर रहा है. तो ठीक है. It looks fine. Let us take 2 and check also. Okay. Just in case 2 से कुछ answer आ जाए. So let me do it with orange. Okay. So if I take X as 2, then this becomes how much? 2 2s are 4 plus 12 हो गया 16. Then this guy becomes 19. 18 minus 2 becomes 16. Two 16s are not possible, right? Same number cannot happen. starting में बोल दिया था ना, everyone has a different number. That means x cannot be 2. So clearly x is 1. So you have solved the set. Now look at the answer questions. Okay. First question क्या पूछ रहा था? Number of coins with each person. 21 तो we have already got. ठीक है, वो हो गया. Second question is how many coins are with E, are given by E. How many coins did E give? So E gave away Z, right? But Z so we cannot solve from here. We can say that okay, Z would be anything less than 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 कुछ भी हो सकता है. I don't know. So Z का value निकलेगा नहीं. So it should be answer D. Cannot be determined. Number 3, how many does F have at the start of the meeting? F के पास at the start of the meeting 17. Is there an option like that? Yes, there is an option 17. Option B. And the number of coins with B was how much more than or less than with C? So B had 20 and C had 14. So that was 6 more. So that is option C. Now see, none of the answer choices are having cases which says that it could be either 6 or 3 or something like that. Hai na? So that means whatever you have solved is a proper solution. Looks perfectly fine. Got it? Now, just in case you are not confident of this, so then what you do is, so this I am not going to solve now because I have given you how to solve this. You have understood, right?
Yes, sir.
What the
Yes,
steps that
sir.
I have used. So now what you do at home when you are practicing is try to use this arrangement B and C, and again do 2 cases, E or F, F or E, like this, and then try to see whether you can get an answer from here.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
whether you can get an answer from here. Obviously you will not get an answer from this because the answers already match ho chuka hai na. We have got the numbers and everything, but this is an exercise you can try and see wherein you are having problems or what problems you are facing, like where is the contradiction happening. Okay, like here, what are the conditions to keep in mind? You cannot have anyone giving away 9 or more. Anything must be less than 9, and none of the values should be equal. Also, 14 is the least value and that should not be with E. 14 is the least value and that should not be with E. Now understand another trick here, how the questions are set. So when you solve this case, did we come across a scenario where E was having 14? No, right?
No, sir.
There was no such
No.
condition, right? No such contradiction came up.
No.
All the contradictions were different contradictions, right? One was that values became equal. One was that someone gave away more than 9 maybe or something like that. So we never came across a condition that E became 14 and that's why the solution is not allowed. So I have a feeling that when you are going to solve this case, you will get a case where E becomes 14 and hence will get eliminated. Understood? Because every LR
Okay,
information, if it's a properly set LR question, then every information piece that is given has a role to play. So the fact that you have mentioned that it is 14 is the least, that alone should have been sufficient to answer this question. But why would they give you that he is not E information? So that when you try to do the other arrangement, you will come across that case where E becomes 14 and hence will be eliminated, and hence we will eliminate this. We did not have to do this because luckily we started off with the right case, the correct case, where B and C were on the left side. So with B and C on the right hand side, if someone has started, unluckily, then he would have got to that 14 case, eliminated that, moved to this one, and then solved. Okay, so obviously it would have taken him longer, but okay, that's how LR is. Okay, so let's stop here today. I think you have a class after this. Hannah, what class do you have? I think maths, right? Numbers. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
you go and join the class. There was one more set. You have already have the handout with you. So try that set yourselves at home. The middle one. We have not done that. Next class, when we do this advanced class again, so we'll first solve this and then we'll take a look at another set of questions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Chalo. Bye everyone then.
Bye, sir.
And everyone, please be regular in class. Okay. Chalo. Bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.